What is up, guys? It is Game Storms here, bringing you some Tom Clancy's The Division gameplay from the beta. And I just wanted to go over today my review of the beta, and just what I think about it, and if I think it's going to be a good game. So I'm going to start off with the two areas in the game. There's the PvP zone, and then the PvP zone. The PvE, I think, is very well. It's really good. The beta itself was a bit lackluster, though. They didn't really give you much to do, and so it's kind of hard to determine how the game is really going to be. All they gave you in the beta was one mission that you could constantly replay, and then after that, all you could do was go PvP for the most part. So, as I can see from the PvE aspect, is that it's going to be a bit like scavenging. You're going to be looting, you're going to be going around the city trying to find stuff to loot. There's going to be missions that you have to do. The missions are nice. You can set the difficulty once you play them. You can choose if you want to do normal or hard. The gameplay in the background is the mission that is in the beta. I'm playing it on hard, and it's not very difficult, but still. So there's a lot to loot. I love the PvE. There is not enough enemies, I think, but maybe that's what the aspect of it they're trying to take, is that it's a city in ruins. So there's going to be just some gangs here and there in certain buildings, and most of the buildings that they're in are like, there's buildings where you can loot certain parts from it. It'll be on the map, which is nice, and I think isn't a bad thing. They're going more towards to go scavenge, get your gear, loot, get apparel, you know, all that. The only thing that I don't like is that for how big, like, we're in New York City, like, there should be plenty of buildings to go into, but most of the time you're in the street. There's not that many buildings to actually go into. Only a few that you can actually go into and go up. There's not many ladders around to climb onto rooftops and stuff. I think that's a bit underwhelming. I think they need to open up more buildings, give them more of an area that you can go through. It's not just running through a street covered in trash bags and all the debris and stuff. Like, it's really not much there. Now, besides the missions in PvE and the little group things, other than that, there's not much to do. I do enjoy the PvE. I think that's what I'm mostly going to be doing. The next area is the PvP, the Dark Zone. It's in the middle of the map. There's going to be an area where you can battle player versus player, loot, take on some AIs to fight and get loot. One thing I don't like about the PvP, in general, I don't like the PvP. I never am a PvP person when it comes to open world games and stuff. Like Elder Scrolls Online, I never PvP'd once, and I'm veteran rank 3 or whatever the hell they're called. I think it's veteran rank. But I've never PvP'd once. I always do PvE, which is great. So I like the PvE aspect. PvP, I haven't enjoyed it at all. From what I could tell for this game, you cannot do PvP by yourself. And that's not possible. It is literally impossible to do PvP by yourself. Sure, you can loot some stuff, like, not much though. I don't know how to put it. Like, you can loot some items, but it's very hard to do so if you're by yourself. One thing about the PvP is that for the amount of a zone that it covers, like, you can't even cover the whole zone so far in the beta. It was only a small part. But for the zone that it covers, there is not enough AI. Like, you're just running around nonsense. Like, I understand that it's a PvP zone, that they don't want AI really to be prevalent constantly. But the fact is that you get your loot from killing the AI. Like, that's the only way you can get loot, is from killing the AI. And then, I mean, you can get loot from killing another player if they already looted from an AI. But other than that, you can't get loot. It's just a PvP environment, face off. And basically that's all it is. There's no reward to it. I mean, there is its own Dark Zone points and stuff, which I'll get into after I'm done covering the Dark Zone itself and my opinion of it. For it being a PvP zone, like PvP, you think it's just going to be player versus player. You fight and fight, but there is so much consequence. There's so much just put on you for killing another player. The reason why I say you can't go in there by yourself, because as long as you do a third of somebody's health, you become a rogue. And a rogue is, you pop up on the map inside the Dark Zone. Everybody knows where you are. Your name comes up red, so when they see you, they know you're a rogue. And everybody will try and hunt you down to kill you because they will get XP. Now, the fact of this matter is that when you shoot, like, let's say I kill somebody. Let's say I find somebody, I go to kill them because I see that they have a loot bag on them. So I kill them. I'm going to become rogue, but I did not get XP for killing that player, which doesn't really make sense. And if I did get XP for killing him, it wasn't much that I even noticed I got XP for killing him. So now I'm rogue. Everybody knows where I am. They're all going to hunt me down because they'll get XP. And let me tell you, when you kill a rogue player, you get like 200-300 XP. That's a noticeable thing. You get like a third of your XP bar filled for killing a rogue player or more. That is one thing in the PvP that I don't like. Another one is, as your rogue, if you die while you are rogue, you will lose so much XP, because in the PvP zone you can D-rank. You will lose so much XP that you are guaranteed just about every time you die as a rogue that you are going to D-rank. So I don't understand, if it's a PvP zone, why are you penalized for doing the PvP? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm going to kill somebody, sure, okay, you can make me rogue, but don't penalize me for becoming a rogue agent. Sure, make it that people do get a good amount of XP for killing a rogue because they're killing somebody that killed somebody else. But don't make it that the rogue agent, if he gets killed, gets just completely wiped of all his XP. Like, it's ridiculous. You lose so much. And there's no benefit for becoming a rogue. When you become a rogue, if you survive the timer that's above your head, which is very hard to do, if you kill one person, you will have, 45 seconds or 60 seconds that you have to survive. And the thing is you can't kill anybody else as a rogue. If you kill somebody else as a rogue, that shit's going up. It's like 180 seconds, which is ridiculous. So even if you survive the time as a rogue, which I done once the whole beta, and I did hit the max in beta, I hit rank 12 in the PvP zone, which I keep getting D-ranked to 11. I could never stay at 12. Got there like 10 times. If you survive the timer, all that you get in return is like $100, which is not worth it at all. Like, why do I need the money? Give me XP for surviving. If I'm going to survive being a rogue, give me XP. The money's, I mean, sure, the money's nice, but it's not worth it. So basically, they need to tweak the PvP zone very well, because I haven't had any fun in it. Like I said, it's for group players. I could see, like, if you're playing with a full team, like if you're playing with 4 or 5 people is your group, and you go in the PvP zone, you can easily dominate. You can all just become rogue just so people come after you, and you just slay them. But it's other than that, there's no need for it. If you do not have friends that have the game, there's no point of you ever going in the PvP area. It is a pointless part of the game, which gets me to my next part with the loot. Now, I'm going to start with the PvP zone since I've been going on about the PvP zone. When it comes to loot, from what I could see, there is a wide variety of loot throughout the game, and that's good. I don't want there to be not enough loot in the game. I want there to be a huge variety of loot that you can never get all of it, that there's always something new that you can get. And so far, it looks like that might be the case, but I'm not positive. Now, when the PvP zone for loot, there's a higher rate for better items in the PvP zone for killing AI. So you're more likely to get better items. But from what I could tell, in the PvP zone, you could get purples. You could buy purples with the Dark Zone money. You could buy yellows with the Dark Zone money, which is the highest grade of weapon or armor or whatever, apparel. in the game is yellows, which they actually don't even cost that much money. If you played with a group in the PvP zone, you could easily get this to the $3,000 it costs very easily. I played for about 2 hours by myself in the PvP zone, and I ended up getting like $2,000. That was by myself. So if you have a full team, you're just easily going to get that money. And why I'm saying this is that you can buy purples and yellows in there, is that that's stupid. You're basically making people have to PvP if they want to get better gear. They're not benefiting the PvE player at all. So far from what I see in the PvE zone, you can't buy purples. You can't buy yellows in the PvE zone. I mean, sure, you might be able to as you get higher up in the level. Like, you could only get to level 8 in the PvE zone, but I'm sure later on when you get to a higher level, you can buy purples and yellows. But why can't I buy them now? All you have to do, yes, it is easy to get money in the PvE zone. So just bump up the price of the purples, bump up the price of the yellows. Let's see, the blue items are usually like 15. They're like $2,000 to $3,000. That's how much they are for the blue items. So bump it up. Purples, make them $6,000. Make the yellows $15,000. Make it something that you have to go grind for. Well, not super hard to grind, but you have to grind for it a bit. Replay missions, which it actually isn't bad. Replaying the missions, it actually is still pretty fun doing the missions. I played the one mission in the beta probably over a dozen times. I played it probably 24 times, but it was still fun. But they need to expand on. I'm sure there's a lot more. There's a lot more into the game when the game is actually released. So there's that with the loot. I just don't think they should be just putting all the better loot in the PvP zone. If you're not a PvP player like me, and you just mostly play PvE, they need to give you the items in PvE. Like, you need to be able to buy purples, you need to be able to buy yellows, like, not just have them in the PvP. So that is something I hope is going to be in the actual game, that you can buy purples and yellows in the game, in the PvE zone. They just up the price a little bit. It doesn't matter. It won't be too much of a grind. It's very easy to make money as long as you're doing the missions. I think I've covered anything when it comes to what was in the beta, the apparel. I like that they have a variety of clothes that you can actually wear. Like, I didn't even think of that when I was getting into the game, that you have your individual pieces of armor, and then you have the clothes that you actually wear on top of it, which there is so much variety. They have no benefit. It's just your style of choosing what your character wants to look like and stuff. I think that's great. Character customization, I hope, is very wide, because that would be nice. We didn't get to see any character customization in the beta. It all was randomly generated for us. I did notice that they do have a crafting table, which I can't wait to see what the hell that's going to be in the actual game. That was not in the beta. I like the perks that they have. They have lots of perks, different abilities to have a wide variety, and they each have like different like variants of the skills, which is nice. I didn't expect that. We didn't get to see the perks though. We didn't get to, there's something else on the skill tree. There's like your abilities, perks, and something else. We didn't get to see the perks and whatever the other thing was. We didn't get to see too many abilities in the beta, but I'm sure they're all going to be great. Hopefully plenty of side missions. They need to have lots of side missions to do. As I could tell, they got a tip bar that popped up. It would say side missions. Like, completing side missions will do this and this and this. Well, there was no side missions in the beta. There was like these little zones that you could go to, but I don't think those were the side missions. They were just little zones to take over and get supplies for new abilities and stuff. Other than that, I think it's nice. The leveling up isn't too bad. It actually is as a relatively good pace. I enjoyed that. So overall, I think the beta was lackluster, but it had some good qualities that hopefully will make it a great game when they release it. Hopefully they do fix the problems that I mentioned. I mean, not just hopefully that they fix my problems, but hopefully they fix some problems, because I think those are actually some big problems. and hopefully it ends up being a good game, and hopefully it doesn't flop. I don't think it's gonna flop, but I don't think it's gonna be a lasting game. I really don't. I think it's gonna be good for a few months, and then people are gonna stop playing it. But it's gonna have some good sales. So overall, if you're gonna play this game, do not play it alone. I recommend that if you're gonna get this game, make sure you have friends getting this game. I don't think it's going to be a super enjoyable game if you're going in solo. This is a game that you need to play co-op. So that is everything I needed to talk about for this game and the beta. Hope you guys enjoyed. I don't know what gameplay I put in after the mission ran out because I have no other content for the beta. I've been seeing people post a lot of the beta. And like I said, I didn't think the beta was lackluster, so I didn't think there was much to post. People are going to be spamming tons of the Division, and I don't think I need to spam it. I wasn't super impressed, so I'm not going to spam it, and I didn't think there was a lot to show off. So I hope you guys enjoyed this review of the beta, in my opinion. And if you guys had problems in the beta, please leave them down in the comments below. I'd like to see what problems you had. If you had the same problems as me, or if you said something that I didn't even think about. I'd love to read it. And I hope you guys enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Peace.